Hey everyone, and welcome back to the True Alien Podcast. Adrian Smith here, and with me, as always, is the amazing Julia Jones.
Always a pleasure to be back.
Well, we're on a mission, every day bringing you guys a brand new paranormal probe into, aliens, abductions, UFOs, Bigfoot, all that good stuff. We try to have a little fun with it. Separate fact from fiction, all that.
The important stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And hey, if you guys are enjoying the ride with us, hit that rate button and follow this show. You know how it is. Helps other people find the show. Today, we're headed to the Himalayas. A group of friends, just out for an adventure.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, until they stumble across something totally unbelievable. An ancient alien relic. And instead of, reaching the summit, they get trapped in a terrifying time loop. Forced to relive their own deaths over and over again.
Like a hiking trip gone very, very wrong.
Right. And the Himalayas are just the perfect setting for this kind of story. All that mystery, isolation.
Definitely. And that whole time loop thing, reliving your own death, that's just nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, we're talking strange radio signals, a mysterious artifact that glows, even shadowy creatures that appear in each loop. These hikers actually learn to fight back, turning their equipment into weapons, powered by the artifact itself.
Fighting for their lives against time itself. That's intense.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about high stakes. Right. So let me introduce you to these hikers. First, we got Maya. She's the skeptic of the group. Then there's Kiara, who's a little more, in tune with the spiritual side of things.
Okay.
Zoe, she's our adrenaline junkie, always amped up for anything. Alex, the level-headed leader of the group.
Oh, gotcha.
And Ben, our tech whiz. So they're high up in the Himalayas and start experiencing this bizarre radio interference. Sounds like chanting almost. Bad vibes already.
Yeah, I'd be turning back right about then.
Right. But then they spot this eerie glow coming from an ice cave.
Oh.
And inside is this strange egg-shaped artifact pulsing with energy. The chanting is their first clue that something's really wrong.
Like the mountain's trying to warn them.
Exactly. Like those stories of ancient spirits guarding sacred places. But they can't resist investigating. Alex, drawn to this artifact. He touches it.
Big mistake.
And in a flash of blinding light, everything changes. That's when the loop begins. At first, they don't realize anything is different. But Maya spots something truly terrifying. Carvings on the cave wall. And they show the hikers frozen in death. It's like foreshadowing.
That's creepy.
They see their own corpses weathered, broken. The reality of their situation starts to sink in. Can you imagine seeing your own frozen body? They try to escape running down the mountain in a panic.
I would too.
But the landscape is all distorted, like they're trapped in a maze.
Oh, no.
They come across their destroyed base camp, frozen in time. That's when Alex realizes what's happening. A time loop, he says. The artifact, it did something. The vastness of the Himalayas now feels like a prison.
It's like they're trapped in a nightmare.
They're not just fighting the elements, they're battling time itself. Panic sets in hard. Zoe breaks down. But then Kiara offers a different perspective. She says time is like a branching tree. Every time they die, they start over on a new branch.
So every death is a reset button.
Yeah, but with terrifying consequences. Alex, being the leader, he sees a glimmer of hope. He figures if they can understand what caused their initial deaths, maybe they can change it, get back to the original timeline. It's a long shot, but at least it gives them a purpose in this repeating nightmare.
They need something to hold on to.
Definitely. They start noticing things they missed before. Whispers in the wind, shadows that seem to move with a purpose. All these old stories about a mountain spirit missing hikers, they start coming back to them. With each loop, they learn more gathering clues about this artifact and the time trap it's created.
Each death, another piece of the puzzle.
Right. They discover hidden chambers with ancient carvings, suggesting this artifact has been around for centuries, maybe even worshipped or feared by people in the past, like they've stumbled onto a mystery way beyond their little hiking trip.
A mystery that spans centuries.
And those shadowy figures. They're more than just tricks of the light.
Oh no, what are they?
They're echoes of timelines gone wrong. Creatures feeding on the mountain's energy, hungry to drag the living into their endless cycle of death. Like the mountain itself is rejecting their presence, trying to spit them out of this loop. It's not just a time loop they're battling. It's a hostile environment. It gets more dangerous each time they die. And that's where Ben, our tech guy, steps up. Remember that strange energy coming from the artifact? Well, he figures out how to harness it, turns their equipment into these makeshift weapons.
So they're going to fight back.
Oh, yeah. So they've got these, alien tech weapons fighting for their lives. But the mountain's falling apart. Ben's barely holding on.
Yeah.
What happens next?
It really is a race against time. The stakes keep getting higher. They're pushing towards the summit, the source of the artifact's power. But the mountain itself is fighting back. Ice-shattering winds, howling like it doesn't want them to reach the top. And then Alex, he notices something different. The sounds coming from that ice cave are changing. He realizes the loop is on the verge of collapse.
It's like their last chance. One final test.
It really is. And Maya, remember, she started out as a total skeptic. Well, she has this sudden realization they can't just keep avoiding death. They have to destroy the source of the loop. She shouts, "The summit! The artifact draws its power from there. We can overload it."
It's a risky plan. Desperate, even.
Absolutely. But they're running out of options. And it shows how much Maya has changed,
Yeah.
From doubting everything to embracing the impossible.
The loop forced them all to confront their fears and their beliefs.
Yeah.
So how does this final climb go?
It's pure chaos. The mountain is literally coming apart at the seams. Ben, he's barely hanging on to his sanity. Frantic calculations, fading memories. It's a lot. But amidst all this chaos, Maya finds a strange kind of clarity. Like the will to survive has ignited a new kind of faith within her.
It's amazing how even in the darkest moments, the human spirit can find strength. What happens when they reach the summit?
It's a nightmare. The sky splits open, reveals this swirling vortex of colors you wouldn't believe, and around this rift, these monstrous creatures materialize.
Whoa.
They're the final guardians protecting the artifact's power.
The final showdown. I gotta know what happens next.
Alex, armed with this device he's rigged, using the artifact's energy, turns to Maya. It's their last gamble to shatter the loop. He gives her this sad smile and says, "Goodbye, Maya. Guess I was wrong. There are some things worse than ghosts." And he charges towards the rift, the device humming with unstable energy.
He's sacrificing himself to give the others a chance. A true leader.
There's this blinding explosion, a surge of raw power that rips through the mountaintop. The rift shatters, the creatures vanish, and the loop implodes.
Did it work? Did they break the loop?
The loop is broken, but at a terrible cost.
What happened to Maya and Ben?
Maya's thrown back by the force of the blast. She wakes up, and everything is silent. The storm is gone, the stars are out, and Alex is lying nearby, unmoving. She's heartbroken, but there's also a sense of relief. He looks at peace.
He gave everything to save them. What about Ben?
He stumbles over to the shattered remains of the artifact, a vacant smile on his face. "It's over," he says, his voice is hollow. "It's over." But Maya knows the truth. They may have escaped the loop, but the scars run deep.
It's a victory, but a hollow one. They survived, but at what cost?
They descend the mountain, forever changed by what happened. They've stared into the abyss, faced death countless times, and returned to a world that feels both familiar and utterly alien. The mountains taught Maya a harsh lesson. There are things worse than dying.
Like what?
To live with the knowledge of the darkness that exists just beneath the surface. That's the true burden.
They've seen something that can never be unseen.
Exactly. As they walk away, Maya glances back at the peak. It's a gaping wound, a reminder of the destructive power they unleashed. And for a fleeting moment, she sees something in the swirling mist. A flicker of something vast, something alien withdrawing from the world.
What was that? Did they just close one door and open another?
It's a chilling thought. Maya whispers to herself, her words carried away by the wind. We didn't just close the door, we woke something up.
They escaped the loop. But what have they unleashed? What happens next?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? The artifact is gone, the loop is broken, but something has shifted. There's a sense of unease, a feeling that the story isn't really over.
We're left with more questions than answers. It makes you think, right?
That's the point of it all. Keeps us curious, keeps us thinking. And maybe a little bit afraid of what might be lurking out there, just beyond our perception.
What was the artifact's true purpose? What was awakened in those final moments? Let us know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed tonight's journey into the unknown, don't forget to rate and follow the True Alien Podcast. We'll be back with more explorations into the weird and wonderful world of the unexplained.
The truth is out there.
Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep looking up. You never know what you might find. We're left with more questions than answers.
Right.
Like, what was that artifact all about? And what did Maya see in those final moments? It's like a puzzle from another dimension.
It really is. Messing with time, that's way beyond anything we can comprehend right now. Was it a tool, a weapon, or something else entirely? Makes you wonder what else is out there,
Yeah.
hidden in the mountains or buried under the oceans.
Right, and those creatures, the shadowy figures, they're almost like ghosts of messed up timelines. Creepy to think that maybe the artifact accidentally created them just by messing with time. Like a warning sign, don't mess with the natural order, or you might unleash something terrifying.
Definitely a warning sign.
It's like Pandora's box. You open it up and all this chaos spills out, and that final glimpse Maya catches of something huge and alien pulling back from the world. It's like they closed one door and opened a bigger, scarier one.
Like when you're looking out at the ocean at night, you know there's a whole other world down there, hidden beneath the surface, things we can't even imagine.
And Maya and Ben, they made it out, but they're forever marked by what happened. How do you come back from seeing your own death over and over, battling creatures from beyond time?
It's like they brought a piece of that darkness back with them.
Makes you think about trauma and how it changes us. They escape the loop, but are they really free? Still trapped in a way.
Yeah,
Haunted by what they experienced and the knowledge of what they unleashed.
they got a glimpse behind the curtain, into a reality most of us will never see.
And that knowledge can be both enlightening and terrifying.
It reminds me of that H.P. Lovecraft quote, "The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown."
We crave knowledge, but sometimes the truth is more than we can handle. So what do we take away from all this? The artifact's gone, the loop is broken, but something has shifted. A sense of unease, a feeling that the story isn't really over.
It keeps us thinking, keeps us curious, and maybe a little bit afraid of what might be lurking just beyond our perception.
That's the fun of it, right? So what do you all think? What was the artifact's true purpose? What was awakened in those final moments? We want to hear your theories.
And if you enjoyed tonight's journey into the unknown, be sure to rate and follow the True Alien Podcast for more explorations into the weird and wonderful world of the unexplained.
Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep looking up. You never know what you might find.